Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT. And with that being said, let's just dive in and let's start off with the overall price chart. So, as we do look at the overall price right now on QNT, we have been ranging a little bit around $90. I do think that this is the last major area before we start to see some dips down into like the $84 zone and even lower. Again, you guys know me. I've been really kind of looking at the $60 plus range since I want to say November or maybe even September of like 2022. We have been waiting on this for a very long time. I specifically remember that during this time back here in September of 2021, when we started to spike all the way to the all-time high, people were calling for $1,000 back here in 2021. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because when we fast forward to 2022, I remember us going all the way down to sub $50 for a little bit of time. And then what happened was we started to have a massive move in the market versus everything else. Now, we went to almost $200. I know on some charts we went to $200 plus, and this was during October of 2022. Now, during this time, we were still addressing the fact that, hey, when this is done, we will most likely see a major correction. Now, after these spikes, again, I was very vocal over on Twitter and even in the videos during that time around QNT, and you guys can go back and check this. We were vocal about it in the Discord as well. We were waiting on the $60 to $80 plus level again being tested, and a lot of people thought that we were crazy during that time. Well, ever since that time back in October of 2022, QNT has essentially topped out on that local move. Now, fast forward, and we have just been in a downtrend. Now, this downtrend will end, all right? When it does end and QNT starts to have a big move, I want you all to understand that this was probably the best time to start looking into QNT yet again because we are sub $100. Now, I've already bought under $100. I've been buying multiple times. Like I told you guys, I have a weekly buy order on QNT at this point now, under $100. I will stop buying once we break over $100 because I already bought quite a bit over $100, and I've also bought quite a bit under $100. As we do look at everything that has happened recently, I think the use case for QNT is even stronger now. And the reason why I say that is because we've been addressing this move. I did include this tweet in a recent XRP video as well, where I talked about the wave of Web 2 to Web 3. We're starting to see all of these big banks transition to the Web 3 world through tokenized deposits, and it has a lot of people question, like, what's going to happen? Like, what's going on here? It's very simple, right? Like, we are starting to see the big move. And listen, this has been a long time coming. JP Morgan told us all the way back in April that tokenization is the killer app for traditional finance. We know that this has been, a thing that they've been focused on. Tokenization is the real deal. I've said this many times over. Now, of course, JP Morgan and Citi are not going to be the only ones, and they are not the only ones, but we will address that here in a second. But I want to go in depth on this tweet again because Son and L actually responded to me, and he said permission. And I said, wouldn't have it any other way because these are large, giants. And we do see the private permission blockchain technology used is owned and managed by Citi. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a closed blockchain network, right? And again, we do see clients will not be required to host a blockchain node to access the services, but they will be able to access the services even though it is private and permission. But the question is, how will this connect to other networks? How will this all be interconnected? Let me think. I think I found a few things, right? Obviously, Quant comes up in question. Now, the reason why I say this is because we know deposit tokens are going to most likely become the norm. There was actually a report with Onyx, which is JP Morgan's blockchain network. It's private ledger, if you will. Deposit tokens, a foundation for stable digital money. Now, within this, we do see commercial bank money holds the key to a safer tokenized economy. Interesting. Now, this is mainly just to keep the incumbents making money off of the digital realm, which we knew was going to be the case anyways. But we do see the increasingly important use of DLT requires a new form of money, tokenized commercial bank money. Thing is, though, is that, as we start to see much more of this, right? Like this trend growing around tokenized money and tokenized deposits and tokenized central bank money, and all of this. I call it fragmentation because honestly, if you really kind of look at all of this is like a closed loop system. And what's funny about this, right, is that Quant has already addressed this, which we will get to. But first, I want to start off with the big move on tokenized deposits. Like this trend has been growing. July 24th, tokenized deposits as alternative to stablecoins favored by South Korean banks in preparation for CBDCs. Followed by Bank of England governor urges banks to progress on tokenized bank deposit. And also UBS, Credit Suisse, Julius Baer in Swiss bank deposit token project. Interesting. And then we have this. October of 2022. Mind you, this is a whole year ago where Quant was already prepared for this. The tags on this is CBDC, digital currencies, and enterprises. Creating the right ecosystem for digital currency. Very interesting. What do you see down here? Just a quote by Gilbert Verdian, a CBDC, if it had been in existence, could have provided information to warn regulators about impending mortgage defaults that led to the 2008 financial crisis and helped enable central banks to take preventative measures. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we do see central bank digital currencies and stable coins could introduce new efficiencies, transparency, and protections into our monetary system. However, for ultimate benefit, new forms of digital money require purposeful design with fungibility and interoperability in mind and a mature regulated environment to operate within. Now, Onyx, which is JP Morgan's platform, got mentioned within this. Specifically, we do see the difference between fungibility and interoperability. What you see closely related to regulation is the need for standardization. There are 4 principal types of DLT on which new digital currencies can run: public, private, hybrid, and consortium. Each type of DLT is best suited for a particular use case. For example, intracompany repos like JP Morgan's Onyx are run in a private ring-fence blockchain, whereas commercial stablecoins such as USDC, supported by a network of banks, is operated on a consortium blockchain. Whilst these use cases are powerful, they take a siloed approach that leaves open the question of interoperability and hence fungibility between the different digital currencies. Very interesting. What do you see? That Gilbert himself believes that in the future, enterprises extend and scale the way they use stablecoins for payments. He proposes that banks may want to develop commercial stablecoins that operates on public ledgers for consumer-to-merchant transactions and through consortium banking networks. For this to happen, international standards and technical harmonization need to be agreed and implemented. ISO TC 307, do you guys remember this? This is the standard that Quant actually created. This is blockchain ISO standard, is one such body creating international standards. Harmonization of standardization. I told you guys that fragmentation needs to be removed through things like this. Organizations like INATBA, the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, review and classify different blockchain projects to support international harmonization. Standardization puts in place the framework needed for interoperability, and interoperability is essentially the technical and business considerations that enable stablecoins or a CBDC to easily transact from one network to another. So Quant is at the center point for all of this. This is why I bring this up, right? Because through all of this, with governance, regulation, standards, and then of course you have interoperability, well now you have everything that can now transact ubiquitously across all networks. And that means, you could have everything play its own role. And we even see that. Like traditional currencies, cash, and even cryptocurrency may have roles as well. And each country and jurisdiction will have a slightly different mix of currencies, but ultimately all of this needs to be interconnected. You need to make sure that interoperability is crucial here. And we even do see the key to this purposeful design, so we build on the principal concepts of fungibility and enable interoperability to ensure that money remains a public good. That's the crucial piece for all of this, which takes me back to what Quant has designed. Because Quant has designed the perfect platform for all of this to be interconnected. And that's why I say, Quant is something so different. Like a lot of people bring up Chainlink with CCIP. Listen, I love Chainlink. In fact, I hold Link and I hold QNT. At the end of the day, Quant is completely different here. You are tapping into public, private, hybrid, consortiums, everything. Everything can be easily connected to this. And also, mind you, back in June, we've seen Quant technology used in Bank of England's CBDC project now available to any business. This is also another big thing, right? But we already know about this. What's interesting about it? Well, there's a few quotes. Specifically, this one down here. From central banks to their commercial counterparts, from issuers to asset managers, the financial world is now wise to the transformational value of blockchain. Already used in some of the most demanding use cases in finance, Overledger is the grown-up approach to implementing this technology, one that any developer or business can now use to expand their offering, getting to market at the speed and with ease. We think this is a game changer for anyone that wants to build a business in the blockchain economy. Until now, businesses have struggled to capitalize on the benefits provided by blockchain because it's a complex technology requiring specialist skills. Overledger's platform changes all that. It's simple to use, continually updated, and integrate seamlessly with your existing systems. That's how it unlocks the power of blockchain for everyone. This is so crucial because now, as we do see a lot of these major banks tapping into this technology, I want you all to understand that when you have JP Morgan, Citi, they're looking into this technology, every other bank is going to follow through. You cannot disagree on the fact that interoperability is going to be 100% crucial for all of this. And again, I even said, and I included this in a video recently, the Lacchain connection, but I said keep fading Quant and QNT. The puzzle pieces are falling into place. There's no coincidences in the space. In June, we've seen the BIS collaborate with Quant on Project Rosalind for API CBDC use cases. Fast forward to today, and we have a huge BIS development regarding the digital economy. And here you guys have it. With, of course, the general manager at the BIS with the Inter-American Development Bank. And then again, I also tie this back to IDB, where we do see DLT-based ecosystem with the potential to fully realize the many economic and social inclusion benefits that the technology can offer. And of course, Son and L11, always got a shout out to Son and L. It's been more than a year since we started an ambitious line of work with Quant to enable a solution for tokenized money on Lacchain. As a committed partner, they've brought exceptional expertise and technical proficiency to the project. And then also over here, the BIS's experience in technical experimentation and its global scope is complemented by the IDB's knowledge of the regional systems and their interactions, as well as its tools for reaching out to the region's relevant players. And then also, last but not least, here you have Gilbert Verdian actually liking the statement by the BIS. As we look at this, it is so crucial to know how big Lacchain actually is. Here you guys have a post from February of 2022 from Sun and L11. QNT is at the core of Lacchain, a monstrous continental blockchain network, which is based on Hyperledger Basu. Took 3 years to build with 60 partners, a community of 700 entities, 50 different blockchain-related projects loading, and there's already 12 countries that are utilizing the Latin dollar. Look at this. This is what I mean by Quant is already ahead of the game. First off, they already have ISO TC 307. They've already solved interoperability between public and private networks. They're already working with some of the largest players out there. And, again, I keep telling you guys, pay attention to the networks of tomorrow, the network of networks. Even Zinfin with XDC has created a network of networks for trade finance. All of this is going to be interconnected. That's why when I see Quant under $100, I'm just like, this is going to be the easiest play long term because I don't need to worry about it. I buy it, I send it to a ledger, call it a day. And again, we've already done so much research. We know every single major bank is cornering this market. We know every single major player out there wants to be a part of this market. And when you look at that, right, the biggest thing to really kind of mention is the fact that it's already starting. The wave is beginning. And over the course of the next couple of years, there's going to be crucial pillars to this new system. And interoperability is one of those, the biggest pieces, if you will, actually, of that new system. Quant is literally realizing or allowing these major entities to realize the value behind blockchain, DLT, and a lot of these other players as well tied to this space. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, notifications on. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.